So these three things is the first principle of cybersecurity, and that all relates to not only the power grid, but any cybersecurity in a broader sense. Either it's internet security, when this data is flowing, I don't want this course to be delivered to someone who does not want it, right? And definitely not modify it, which is integrity. Should be available to you as we are thinking, and of course there are some problems that happens with the internet. We try to take care of this. Then there are things, three other things, which is also important, but not part of the CIA. But this is like adding three more dimension. These are three dimension. Privacy, which means that it's user right to control access. Means whoever owns the data, they will decide that this data I don't want to share, and we need to preserve that privacy. Non-repudiation, which means that entity can't deny responsibility for an action. So if the data is manipulated and they did not check on that, they can't say that I am not responsible. That why it did not reach, because that is guarantee that you're taking that I am sending this data from point A to point B should reach there and should reach in confidential, in integrity, and in availability, and with the privacy. So everyone has to take the responsibility if it does not happen that way. Should be authentic. Authenticity, which means that verification of the validity source of message or transmission, which means if the data is delivered, it should have certain bit which will say that this is authentic data, this is the real data, this is not forged data, right? So if no one has modified it, this authenticity of data will be there already, right? So I think keep thinking about these important three concepts, and let me quickly explain it. Something that you can relate very well, which is student grades. So if I say confidentiality, then I want only student and instructor to see their grade. No one else should know that, because it's not their grade. So grade should be confidential to only student and instructor. Integrity, which means that it should accurately represent your homework and test score. No one should modify that, and it's integral, right? Availability should be available when it should be, right? So the homework is done, and then it is said that it will be available on end of this month. It should be there in your system. Authenticity means that only the instructor can assign grades. No one else should be there to give the grade, unless instructor is uh, assigning that GTA can do that, and then it's also authentic. Privacy, which means that the student has discretion that who they want to share their grades with. If they don't want anyone else to see the grade, then it's total privacy for them. Accountability, non-repudiation is that evidence that only instructor added grades to the system, and they take the full responsibility that I gave the grade because you deserve this. This is your performance, and based on that, I take the full accountability that grade is right. And the student should be the one that who should say that, okay, this was my performance. I cannot do much. I can do better next time, or I can do same next time because it was good performance. But they take the full responsibility of what were their performance was. Now, coming to power grid with the similar concept, SCADA system for power grid, uh, confidentiality is low, which means that, well, it's okay if someone see one set of data. What is important is the availability. SCADA should deliver substation data to the control room. If they do not, then availability is a problem. I cannot solve my state estimation. I cannot do my power flow. I cannot do and it should be not modified. It should be originally the way it is. So integrity is very high. Confidentiality, okay, well, maybe 2 3 people who are not authorized to see it, they have seen it. It's okay. We don't want that, but if I need to prioritize it, that will be low, right? Well, if you compare that to something else, like there is police and FBI or CIA or whatever is handling the investigation information, for them confidentiality is very high. They don't want anyone to know that because this is a problem of privacy issue to the people who are involved, and it will be putting them in limelight that probably it's not proven that they're guilty. Integrity is moderate. It's not low, but it's moderate, right? So if something is modified, hopefully there's enough set of data that they can see it. Allowability is also moderate. We know that not all the data is allowable. So this is how we apply the security concept here, and then we'll continue talking about that on Monday, and also introduce the concept of resiliency and how do we measure the resiliency, right? And then Tuesday you will be start doing some modeling. That's where we get into the test bed, different kind of test bed and cyber physical integration of different network. So let me stop here and see if you have more questions. So one I see, what is the difference between cybersecurity and cyber resiliency? Yeah, we'll talk about that more on Monday, but very quick, that cybersecurity is, I think I did explain once. Cyber resiliency also includes your ability to survive and come back and restore everything that was lost because of a cyber attack. While cybersecurity is all about ability to stop a cyber attack, right? So if I can stop the cyber attack, it means that I'm very cyber secure. While after the attack, how do I bounce back? How do I restore the services is a cyber resiliency. Next question is, how can OpenPDC be utilized to improve the accuracy and efficiency of state estimation power system using PME data? Um, so OpenPDC is actually necessary, without or some kind of PDC is necessary, because without that you will not be able to align different PME data. And if you're not able to align the different PME data and not able to handle any delay, so OpenPDC also or PDC also handles the delay in PME data. So most of the PMU and anywhere in the field, we always have a PDC which will take the PMU data, align it, clean it, and then find out that where is the missing data. So you have some label on that, and then state estimation. Actually, we don't need to. If it's only PMU data, then we solve linear state estimation, not the state estimation. Why? Because angle is already known. So you can just do one iteration and then you got the state estimation result because everything is known. In a state estimation with SCADA data, we don't get the angle measurement. It's not aligned. So that's why some parameter are unknown, and that's why we need to correlate with the physics model to compute those set of measurement which is missing because we cannot measure the angle. While in PMU only we do the linear state estimation. Now if you do the hybrid state estimation, either you need to slow down PMU data, and then maybe you need these things together to solve the state estimation. So yes, open PDC or PDC is definitely needed. Typically, we have a hierarchical PDC. Substation PDC will collect the data, and then substation PDC will feed the data into the open PDC, which will be at the control room. Next is, what are the best practices for implementing DNP3 over TCP/IP in an attack to ensure cybersecurity and data integrity? Well, so first thing is that like it's not. I mean, each protocol, which is DNP3 or Modbus, what would we implement over TCP/IP or even UDP, which is another product, another communication protocol. That's a different. DNP3 is a interface protocol, data packet, while TCP UDP is a communication protocol, which goes into the communication layer that we were talking about. So best practices is, I think we should wait on that because that's a defense, and we will talk about that next week, not in the first 2 days, but after we are done with the modeling. There's a lot of different best practices in the chart, to, but it all relates to access control and uh, loading the threat vector, right? Or basically the threat attack surface. Because anyone can get into my system, because there are ways, another way that we have talked about, that there is vulnerability, and some are known and some are unknown, but we always know that what is the attack surface, right, which we can try to determine. So if we minimize the vulnerability, we patch it, number one. Second, we do the uh, basically digital footprint. If we can make it less, then you minimize the attack vector. There are other ways also to minimize the attack vector. And then third is access control. If you do all these three things in a broad way, then you're just closing all the door, open door and open window to your system, which is maybe accessible by the attacker. And that's how that's applicable to anything, right? So now if you get into specific of DNP3 and TCP IP, there's a specific answer to that, but I think we'll wait on that till we get to the next week. Okay. Well, I don't see any further question. I think we can stop now, and we'll see you on Monday. Keep thinking about CIA and different cybersecurity concept while we get into more detail that day.
Yeah. I think there is no further questions. Then